this is Molly. Welcome to Purpose, where we talk about just that. Why are we on this earth? What's our reason for being here? And I don't know about you. Sometimes I can get so caught up in my own life and what's happening to me, my job, my kids, my family, my friends. I get so wrapped up in that becomes the most important thing in my life. And God is just somewhere out there, he's in the back of my head. Maybe at the end of my day, I'll give him a few minutes. And I don't really think about him that much. And it's in those times that I've got to stop myself and remind myself I am just a bit player in the story of God. This whole world, this whole earth, this is God's story. We're just players in it. And we go rogue and mess it up all the time. We are not acting the part that we're supposed to be doing. We go off our own way and we forget this is God's story. We all have hopes and dreams, but those hopes and dreams belong to God. We can't get so caught up in our own dreams and our own life that we forget it's God's. Our whole reason for being here is to get back to God. He created everything. The story is His. My life is His. And I gotta try to keep reminding myself, and I forget it more times than I remember it, that everything I do throughout my day, I have to do for God. I have to do it to get me closer to Him. And I gotta tell you, I spend a lot of my time on wasted stuff, watching Netflix. I'm on a kick now. I'm watching old Waltons reruns. Love those Waltons. It's fine to watch the Waltons. There's nothing wrong with that, but I can watch 3 episodes in one day. Well, that's 3 hours of wasted time. It's 3 hours that I could have been doing something to get closer to God. I could have been reading the Bible. I could have been reading other good religious books. I could have been praying. I could have been talking to God. I could have been cleaning my house. When I clean, I pray. I could have been doing all kinds of things that'd be a lot more productive, but I'm not. Why? Because I was being lazy. Because I was just thinking about me. I don't want to do that. And I'm going to be honest, sometimes, as much as I hate to admit it, I do that. I can say, I don't care what you want, God. I want to watch the Waltons for 3 hours. I don't care what you want, God. I want to gossip with my friends. I don't care what you want, God. I want to talk bad about this political party. And every time I do that, I move myself further away from God. And worse than that, I'm hurting Him. The person that loves me more than anyone in this world, the God who created me, I'm telling Him, I don't care what you think. I don't care. And I've got to try my best to stop doing that. I've got to try my best to have in the back of my mind all the time, how's this going to get me closer to God? If I'm watching TV, if I want to sit down and watch TV, nothing wrong with that. How's it going to get me closer to God? I could watch The Chosen and concentrate on the life of Jesus. That'd be a good way. Or if I'm watching, Yellowstone, where they cuss all the time, I can pray for those people. I can pray that God will touch their heart and help them to stop cussing. I know it's just a role, but they're doing it. There's all kinds of things I can do to get myself closer to God. When I'm watching TV, I can pray for people. When I'm just sitting out on my front porch, I can pray. I can talk to God. I can hang out with Him. But instead, I just look through my phone. I look at Facebook. I look at social media. I look at YouTube videos. I talk on the phone. Not about anything important, just talking on the phone. And I think I'm wasting a lot of time here, which we're going to talk about with Sarah. Our time is limited. There's only so much time that we have on this earth, and I need to start making it a little better. Well, we left off with Genesis chapter 22, verse 20, and this verse just feels like it got thrown in. Like it doesn't even belong here. What the heck? The children of Nahor? We just got done talking about this great sacrifice Abraham and Isaac were willing to do for God. And then suddenly they're talking about Abraham's family? Where does this come from? Well, it is important because in a couple of chapters here, we're going to talk about Isaac getting married. And Isaac marries his second cousin, Rebekah. And this is telling us that Rebekah, her dad was Abraham's brother Nahor's son. So Abraham's brother is Rebekah's grandpa. And which means, I think, you can tell me if I'm wrong, I think Isaac's going to marry his second cousin, which is important. I don't know exactly how, other than he's not marrying a Hittite or a Jebusite or anything else. He's marrying somebody who believes in God. And I think that's important. And then in chapter 23, we find out that Sarah died, and Abraham is so sad, and Isaac is so sad. And Abraham doesn't have a home. He doesn't have a place where he can bury her with these ancestors. He's got to bury her in this strange land because God called him out of his land. And he doesn't own anything, kind of like Jesus. Jesus was in a strange land when he died. He didn't have a cave to be buried in. He had to borrow one. Jesus didn't own anything. And it's the same with Sarah. So Abraham went to the Hittites, the people in that land, and asked if he could buy a cave from them. And he knew which one he wanted. It was a specific cave, the cave of Machpelah near Mamre, which is where the angels came. If you remember, Abraham was sitting under the trees and the angels came. So Ephron owned that cave, and Abraham went to him and said, "Can I buy this cave from you? I'll give you a full price." And Ephron was like, "Oh, no, you just take it. I'd be happy to give it to you. You just take it." Well, Abraham knew if you take it, there's going to be strings attached somewhere. Now I'm going to owe you something. And Abraham wanted to be fair and honest, and he didn't want to owe anybody any favors or anything. So he said, no, I want to pay you the fair price. And then it's so funny. Ephron was like, no, you don't have to pay me anything. But if you wanted a cave like this for, what did he say? I lost it. He said, "Listen to me, a piece of land worth 400 shekels of silver, what's that between you and me?" So he's telling him, hey, look, I want 400 shekels for that cave. That's good real estate there. But he said it in a way that was like, oh, no, it's nothing. Don't worry about it. But yet he's letting him know, I want 400 shekels. So Abraham gave it to him, and he buried Sarah. And now he's got a place where he can be buried and where Isaac can come and visit them. And Isaac could be buried if he wanted to. And they have a place where Sarah can be at rest. Sarah lived to be 127 years old. And I said in the beginning of this video, our time's limited. We've only got so much, And I waste so much time, doing nothing, looking through a People magazine, reading a no-brainer Nora Roberts kind of book. Is there anything wrong with that? No, nothing wrong with looking at People magazine, nothing wrong with reading a Nora Roberts book. But I can fill a whole day with that. And I think it's all about moderation. We've got to give time to God. We can't just go through our life doing what we want all the time, because this is God's story, not ours. This is God's life, not mine. I'm just a bit player in the story of God, and I've got to remember that and not get so caught up in me and what I want, but I got to think about God and what He wants, because I want to get back to Him. And when I die and I'm standing there in front of him, I don't want him to say, Molly, what'd you do to get to know me? And for me to just be like, well, I watched some Netflix videos, I read People magazine, I didn't do much of anything to get to know you, God. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to say, I didn't do as much as I should, and I fell down a lot, but this is what I tried to do, God. So, I hope that you enjoyed this little blurb today. When we come back next time, we're going to talk about Isaac and his new bride. Isaac's going to get married. And I hope you all have just the best day today. Bye-bye.